Not coming. We have Jane.
So, second.
What's that?
Oh, you're Craig.
I'm Craig. Yes. It's on. Yeah.
Craig likes to do January because.
Okay.
In February.
Let's
because he's
just
not so
record the
busy.
meeting. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is the March 21st, 2023 RPRC meeting. We're starting at 9:33 a.m. Our first order of business is the approval of the March 7th meeting. I'll make a motion to adopt those minutes. Second. All in favor? Thank you. All right, it looks like we only have one person in the waiting room, so why don't we skip to them so they're not waiting around. So that's 62 Windmill Road. The last item on the agenda is removal, so let me get Jesse in here. Hi, Jesse. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys? Can you hear me?
Yep, hear you fine.
Okay.
Pull up your plan. In the meantime, why don't you tell us the background here and what is going on?
Yeah, sure. Nice to meet you guys. And I think Adam, we met once before. So my wife and I and my 2-year-old closed on our property the week of Christmas. So we actually aren't living there like full time yet. We go in and out.
Okay.
But we moved from Florida, closed on the property, and we're there every week, for a couple of days, but we just go to and from. And as we were looking at the property, we realized that there were, I think, 5 trees in the front of the house that were quite old. My son was like driven to them. He's 2.5. And for anyone that has children, knows that active children just love to do things they shouldn't do. And this was around the time where it was first starting to get cold and very windy. There were a lot of storms, etc. So I had a tree expert that my father actually used a couple of years ago take a look at some of the trees that were in the front of the house. They were like, I don't know, 30 feet plus tall. Of the 5, I think 3 of them were dead and leaning towards the house. And then 2 of them were leaning very, very close. And I'm talking within a couple inches of the power line that's across my house. So on Windmill Road, the power lines are on my side. Whereas on the other side, there's no power line. So a lot of the houses there, like across the street, they have no trees in front of their house. Maybe that's one of the reasons why. So it was one of those weeks that in particular, I think it was like 40, 45 mile an hour winds. The trees were, you could see, I think they were like spruce trees. I'm not 100% sure, but they were swaying pretty heavily. So as a new homeowner, again, I've never owned a house before. We just moved to the area. I just made the judgment call to have them cut those 5 trees down. All the trees, I think, were within that certain legal limit. I think it was like under 22 inches or 20. Don't quote me, but it's something under the specified diameter where we were believing that a permit wasn't needed. So we just made the judgment call on that week to cut them down. 3 were dead. Again, 2 were leaning on the power line. So we just made the judgment call. I didn't realize that, a permit was needed for that. So I just went with my expert and did.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I went out there and it certainly, Jesse didn't clear cut. Wooded. I don't have any real significant concerns. And in fact, Jesse, when I went out there, I couldn't even tell where these trees came down, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, they were very thin trees, and that's what made me a little more scared, was the fact that they could come down very easily, with a big heavy.
So how did you end up in front of the RPRC? Were you issued like a notice of violation? Is that what happened? So
it's actually kind of a funny story. So my neighbor, what I believe to have happened, I didn't meet any of the neighbors except for across the street who were, they have kids our age, so we became friendly with them. The neighbor that was to the right of my house, if you're looking out to the street, I believe that the previous owner, the Raskins, had cut down one of his trees years ago. I think he had a bit PTSD from that. So he saw my guy kind of walking around the property and may have crossed over the line, didn't cut any of his trees, but we basically were doing a little pruning, and he freaked out basically and called the town. And that's where I think his name's Ivan, came over to put sort of a stop work order. But by that point, all the work was already done.
It's done, okay. And then what'd you do with
By the way,
the stumps?
by the way, this was all done in one day. That's how small these trees were, you know, thin ones.
Yeah. So what did you end up doing with the stumps? Grinding them?
He just ground them up and tossed them essentially. Well,
Yeah.
there were some that were left over. If you notice, if you walk the property,
I didn't. I was looking, and honestly, I couldn't really. I don't know. I just don't see the significant issue.
For me, this was just a safety issue. Like
Yeah. It's done. I guess what we would normally do, since for after the fact, we don't really know. I don't think Jesse is lying to us, but we don't have any information. We don't know what these trees look like. All we can really
street view.
And by the way, just a note. Sorry to cut someone speaking, but there were, I think,
that's
5 or
what I'm
6
saying.
trees that are still
Put
there.
trees there.
Yeah.
It's already wooded. You know, it's the front of the house. There's nothing unusual going on there.
Okay, and Adam, can I just make one more point?
Yeah.
If I really were that concerned about getting rid of all the trees, I would have done all of them. If you notice, there were 2 trees next to the driveway. There's another 5 or 6 that are to the right of it. So again,
Exactly. Yeah.
13 or so trees in total. I got rid of 5.
Yep. I'm just gonna pull up your street view for the committee.
It's so cool.
The technology.
It never ceases to amaze.
Can you see me or no? Because I can see you all.
No, but it's okay. We hear you.
I got dressed all nice and everything for you guys and can't even see me.
Turn your camera on. So, you know, a few of these smaller trees are not there, but a good chunk of them are.
They evergreens?
Yeah. So
I think 2 of them
Go
are
up,
spruce,
up,
possibly,
up,
or 3.
Really
up.
tall.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I don't see why we want to replant some of them. What's left is reasonable. Is everyone okay with that? You have a different
I make a
course of
motion.
action? What's that?
Make a motion to approve it.
Uh,
I'll second that.
Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so you're all set. You'll just follow up with the after the fact tree removal permit from the building department.
Okay. And just tell me if I'm wrong. Did I already file for that, or I paid for the permit application, I think?
I don't know if this is the RPRC, so probably not, if you didn't submit anything directly to the building department.
Okay, so who should is that like Karen and her team? Or
Well,
sorry, not Karen.
Yes, the building department. Karen doesn't work there anymore. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll get in touch with them to file the permit for that. And that's $75?
150. You have a
150.
violation.
Yeah, because it's double the cost when you're legalizing something.
Okay. Got it. I will take care of that then.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Take
everybody.
care.
Appreciate it.
So. Building.
Detail, submit anything to you? 42 Starls?
Yeah, for an apartment.
No, for the reworking of the house.
No.
They ripped down the other half of the house.
Nope.
They changed the roof lines.
Okay, so we'll go back to our regular order. The next one we have is 49 Sorrel Street for a pool house. Hold on. So we recently, last couple of years, maybe sooner, we approved a pool the backyard. Actually, it was the planning board that approved the pool. If you remember, Jim? On the plans, he had a future pool house that we asked him to remove because he wasn't planning to build it at the time. And now he wants to build it. And I don't have any significant concerns, other than, you know, making sure he meets the side yard setback. So he's got to dimension this. It could be 3 foot to the side yard. Just have to see what that is. But it is just shy of 800 square feet.
Big.
It's big.
It's probably 798.
Yeah, it's like 796. So what does it have in here? You know, you got your,
It's a 4-car garage.
yeah, you've got your open, you know, space with the windows, with the fireplace. And then changing room, bathroom, and some storage. It looks, you know, okay. And then a big kitchen, food prep, eating area. It's nice. Take a look at the design. It is. Comments from my end.
Is it winterized?
How does it relate to?
Well,
the
that was
house?
my, I mean, where is the house?
In architecture.
Similar, you know, so just a traditional colonial
Mhm.
house. It's big, it's a big house, so I think
Well, it's
this,
a big pool,
exactly, but I'm saying
big pool
the
house.
planning board has had different applications where, you know, we had 3 accessory buildings that were 800 square feet, and it didn't relate to the yard into the house. This one does. You were asking
Looks
about
good.
winterization. That was one of my questions, making sure it's not a dwelling. So, you know, whatever you need for them to. Remember if they had a note about the winterization.
Yeah, stove in there?
Can't tell. What to say.
I don't know, I would think they have to go to the health department, right? Bathroom could be
There is a full bathroom.
near full bathroom, somebody can use that, right?
Well, that was why, yeah. Rob's
There's
got
no
a-
bedroom in there.
Well, there's a changing room.
Yeah, that's not big enough. That is, well, six,
Oh, 6.
yeah,
It's
I mean, that would be tiny.
not
Too small to be a bedroom.
Yes.
70 square feet at the minimum.
Yeah, might need that.
Actually, I think my granddaughter has a bedroom in the city the size of that.
Yeah, probably.
Hers is 8 by 8.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, major comment, building department making sure it's not a dwelling, elevations will show it's 15 feet, we talked about the chimney extending into the side yard. at 15 feet. So, I think it looks good, and, you know, it's really up to Rob to take a close look on if anything needs to change. But the location makes sense.
Do we approve landscaping between the old pool and the property line? I didn't see anything on here.
I don't remember, you know, but this is not the pool plan. I don't know what we did. Planning. And that pool is currently under construction.
Is there any need or desire of it? I mean, that's not.
No,
full
because
as
we
well.
would have looked at that when we did the pool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, so it was patio when we approved it. It's not even expanding anything. It is on top of the patio we approved. I'm not that concerned about it.
But so don't ask for the landscaping?
No, because if we thought it was an issue, we would have approved it as part of the
Yeah.
pool. Everyone okay?
Yeah. No, it's typical stormwater stuff.
Okay.
So you most approve it.
Second.
Change it back. All in favor?
Aye.
Send to. Next, 16 carry, okay, so this is another one that went to the planning board originally, this was their house. And I'll pull up and. I'll refresh everyone's memories. So this was a modern house, if you remember, Jim. On Perry Drive.
I do remember.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
approved, yes, exactly. So we approved the house. It's under construction.
Mhm.
Rob's like pretty far along. What they want to add is a new detached garage. It's under 800 square feet and we don't have to issue a special permit, so it can be located in the front yard. If we have to issue the special permit, it can't be in the front. However, what I was concerned about is if the average height is more than 15 feet. It's getting darn close. So it's a tall garage. It's 14 feet. So
Do they have a lift in that garage?
they're not showing it, but
What is,
they could.
I'm looking at a horizontal line.
Yeah,
Garage, what is
that's
that?
14 feet. Yeah, that's why I've said if they're above the 15, they've got issues. So that's what they're gonna have to demonstrate and what's gonna, see
So
how
it's
the grade,
4-car garage in the main house.
3-car.
1, 2. Okay,
You probably collector value a stack over there.
Maybe, but that's gonna be a problem because if because of the grading, you take the average grade. And they've only got a foot to play with and you can see. They might be above the 15. And that they can't do. So,
The other concern is the stormwater treatment for the house. They're either on top of it or very, very close to it.
Okay.
They didn't show it.
very
on this
cool
one.
looking,
Yeah, it's a cool, yeah.
very cool.
yeah,
Goes with
and it
the
goes with the house. There's no,
Yeah.
here's the house we approved. So here's the
Mhm.
garage. It's fine. It's just
Mhm.
the height.
Looks like a bunker.
So I guess if they have to be, if they're gonna be above the 15, they could connect, I don't know, they can't connect it. To the house because then they're limited to 4 garage spaces.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So they're
Why are they
gonna,
limited to 4 garage spaces?
it's a provision of the code. Zoning code says you can have each building can have no more than 4.
Okay.
So thoughts, just send this to building and have them deal with the height and the stormwater.
In that case, the applicant would submit the details and confirm it's not gonna be over 15 feet, and if it was, then it's be kicked back to the
If it-
planning board for a.
Yeah, and then they would need a special permit if it's above the 15, and then we'll have to deal with them about what they're gonna do, because it wouldn't be permitted in the front yard, so we have to send them to the zoning board or do something else.
Why would, we're not gonna, we shouldn't get the building.
Why?
I mean, you should really demonstrate the height.
So send it back, you're saying, and have
Coming back
some
here?
additional details?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter.
The key issue is you could ask the applicant to, to demonstrate that he's gonna meet the building
Yeah,
department
however
requirements.
we wanna handle it. Yeah. Okay. Just tell them to come back. You care?
You made a compelling argument, and then you retreated. Why don't you do that? Do what Rob is the first thing. I like that idea.
But what are we gonna discuss?
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss it there.
Discuss.
If he completes everything, goes forward. If he doesn't,
Yeah, but that's what we would do if we made it.
Yeah, so this doesn't matter, yeah, so I have, fine,
All right, so I'd say send it to building.
that's fine.
And we'll have the
I'll
issues.
second it.
Okay. So AK, RM, all in favor?
Aye.
All send. Building. It is, the gates are there. Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. Seeing as, I'm with you. I'm
Okay.
following
share this.
dates.
Yeah, so the picture that the condition that they showed, which is the drawn, this reflects what, pretty good of what's there, but all this is there at this point. So what's new is the fence and the gates. What they're not showing on here. Yeah, so what they're not showing is that they also built these new piers. And I don't know if, you know, they have to show where they are because you have to be on their property. Any thoughts from the committee?
Those are existing piers that they built upon. I think that.
They definitely look new, so I don't know if there were piers there that they rebuilt.
I just saw the label piers.
Go to the
Yeah.
Treefield. Treefield will be older.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when I'm out there, you could tell that they were new.
Oh,
Right, so there were probably piers there. I don't know if they needed to rebuild them. Did they get rebuilt in the same location? I don't know. Just have them clarify.
Have this,
stop work order.
oh, stop work order, okay.
But what do you think about the way it looks? You know, they have to give us the details, right? These can't exceed, this can't exceed 6 feet. And this gate can't exceed 8 feet. I no idea if they comply or not, so they'll have to get us that info.
Just do the same thing we did with the garage.
Yeah.
Show compliance.
Show compliance, and if not, then
Then you have to
they're
get a
they're going
variance.
to the zoning board, but yeah, I think they do, but you know, I can't tell.
No,
There was a comment in one of the, about a wetlands permit, or work zone for the wetlands, did I read that correctly?
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's really not.
What did it say? Actual. Oh, yeah, so wetlands permit should be required. So given the minimal impact of proposed work, it's recommended that any wetlands permit be processed administratively. Yeah, what we're talking about are either is probably the driveway piers. The fence is above the stone wall, so there's no impact, and then those gates, again, it's
Yeah.
just the foundation. So if they do need it, I don't think it needs conservation board approval. Thank you for.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like it.
In agreement
Mhm.
on that?
Yep.
Okay, so if wetlands. All right, I'll make that motion.
Also.
All in favor?
Aye.
That it?
That's it.
Wow.
Thank you. That's
Then it's such a short one.
that was a short one. All right, so then I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Uh,
9:56.